tremendous amount of respect for Legend. Had class with him. That's one thing which is like, really really cool is like you have class with some of these athletes and then you see how big they are, you know, in terms of just being a student athlete, and hats off to him. Uh, he talked about this, and he talked about, especially because he ended up going to IMG Academy. He was from Texas, and when he went to IMG Academy, they had a lot of talent. I think like one of the safeties ended up going. I think it was Greg Newsome, if I believe he ended up going to like Northwestern or Notre Dame, and there was like another safety that went to Notre Dame. So he had to deal with a lot of talent at IMG Academy, and then he came to Ohio State when it was obviously 2020, dealing with everything that they had to do and that was going on in the world. So I mean, for him, for guys in that class of 2020, that transition is a lot more tougher, than what most people are accustomed to. Early enrollees, even with that, it's very tough with that happening. And then, 2021 happens, and then you see a guy in Denzel Burke come out of nowhere, shine really, really well, and basically, be a guy that's, has that cornerback, being that defensive backfield on lock. We hear it time after time. He's going to be the next great one at Ohio State. Going to be really high drafted, But you got to think of a guy like Legend. That's what he wants to be as well. So you already have one side of the ball that's you're not going to take his spot. And then you have a guy in Cam Brown coming back. You have a new, defensive staff change because he's playing on the defensive side of the ball. You have a new defensive coaching staff. So it's kind of like the guys that kind of recruited you, they're no longer there. So whatever promises or things that they had, they're not there. Coach knows, seems, obviously you having Tanner come over, he's going to go with a veteran like Tanner. It's a lot of things that have gone on the defensive side of the ball where he's kind of fallen out of the picture. Then you got guys coming along like Jakeem Johnson, Jordan Hancock with him, and it's kind of like, hey, it more like a rotation piece versus me being a solidified starter playing, the vast majority of the game. And for him, he wants to obviously get to the NFL, and entering transfer portal is probably best. He's kind of been screwed. I'm not gonna be biased, but it's kind of like, hey, I came during 2020. I didn't ask for this. I had to deal with it, and then come in. Now we have defensive coaching changes, and then other guys are kind of maybe playing a little bit better than him, or he has to compete versus a solidified role. And then he wasn't at the open practice. He wasn't even there. So it's kind of like he's gone, and he's doing what he feels best. And I wish him the best of luck. He's going to have a tremendous future, and wherever he goes, he's going to shine, bro.